Christmas is coming, and here are some ideas that I would actually consider. Lenovo Smart Displays, I have all three of them compared to the original Nest Hub or Google Home Screen. I'm talking today about all these devices. I just want to mention that I won't be going into the specs and how to use a Google Assistant, because there's plenty of other videos and tutorial videos by Google on how to use and what kind of function Google Assistant brings. So Google Assistant is identical on all of them. These guys have been reviewed just recently, and you can see my video on the channel if you're interested. Plus, at the end of the video, you'll see conditions to win Lenovo Smart Clock. All of them have identical function of the Google Assistant with additional features. The camera that allows video calls. Google hasn't had that function since the beginning, probably due to the privacy issues or something like that, but now they have actually added it. In the meantime, Amazon had it on their devices from the very beginning, because Amazon likes to see and listen to what you do. Okay, so these two guys open, and if you pay attention to the screen behind here, it constantly changes the pictures, and once I unwrap and plug in these guys here, what's going to happen, they should be pretty identical in terms of the layout to the Google home screen. Now this guy is called Google Nest Hub, which you also can actually see another video on my channel where I compare the Google Home Hub versus the Google Nest Home Hub, and I just unveil the big secret for you. It's the same item. Okay, let's open this small Lenovo clock. I haven't opened this guys yet, so my impressions are the same as yours. It's the first time. How do you open it? Oh, you open it like this. There's a sticker on the side, and once you open it, that's how it comes in. This speaker is a lot smaller than the Google device. It has a very tiny screen with thick black brackets around, which doesn't make it too ugly, but it definitely doesn't look as nice as the white bracket on the Google device. Then outside here, it has a nice cloth material as well, same as Google device has, maybe even slightly better, I would say. And it has a built-in buttons for the volume, USB plug here, and the power supply, plus additional button to turn on and turn off microphone function. The overall quality of the wrap is pretty decent. It gives you that premium device feel to it. So the device itself, pretty much this is it, right? There are two tiny holes at the top that provide the function of the microphone. And at the back, there's nicely stitched label here for the Lenovo. Rubber pads at the bottom to create nice friction on the table, so it doesn't slide away, same as this guy. Oh, actually, unlike this guy, it's a lot easier to push it. Inside the box, what we have here is the adapter, which is actually huge compared to the Google adapter. This is how, for comparison, Google plug looks like. That's about 2 times the size of this guy. Packaging, it's a little bit cheap compared to Google packaging. There's some kind of scratch here on the charger, or some kind of ink dot, which I managed to remove. Lenovo builds great products, but usually they don't pay too much attention to the quality. I'm saying it from my personal experience with their laptops. There's nothing else, it's empty. And over here we have the manual. There's nothing else inside. Information about the software and Lenovo Smart Clock quick start guide. And now let's power it up and see what it's all about. It powers up identically to Google. You'll see that book sequence is actually the same. except for the logo of Google and Lenovo. Now, to make this device work, you have to have a smartphone. Without a smartphone, you cannot give it to anyone, and they won't be able to actually activate it. So I'll do that now, and in the meantime I will unpack and unwrap the larger device. Lenovo Smart Display with Google Assistant, of course. That's how you open it up. You don't need that anymore. Comes in a nice box here. Very nice sticker, unlike the smaller one. Very easy to pull off. Has some cool security features. So the box is definitely a lot better, because this device is pretty much almost double the price of the smaller clock here. Okay, so let's pull this guy out and see what the features are like. One of the key differences between the Google devices and Lenovo devices are the design. The Lenovo has a bit more attention on the design, and they have given a space look to the device, I would say. Huge massive speaker on the side, which sticks into this pyramid shaped side of the device, and it has some weight to it as well. It's a lot heavier than the Google device here or the smaller Lenovo clock. Okay, let's unwrap it and see how it works. The quality of the wrap is very decent as well. It's done nicely. They definitely spent some time and design on the wrapper. However, it's very hard to remove it without destroying it. So whoever is gonna get this present from me in the Christmas, they'll know how exactly it got damaged here. And that's how you open it and you pull it out of there. Let's start with the back. The back has rubbery, soft to touch surface in there. It's not a plastic, and it's not a rubber either. It's like something in between. Very nice design and very nice feel to it. This thing is huge. So over here I have a 32-inch monitor, and that's how it looks next to it. It's massive. One of the distinctive features here you'll see are the cameras, the speaker which I already mentioned, and this pyramid shaped leg that allows the device to stand, and it allows the device to lie down like this. If you have it standing, it will be very comfortable to actually call someone through the camera at the top here and have a face-to-face conversation, while when it's lying down, it's more comfortable for day-to-day use if you're watching videos and stuff like that. So another cool feature that Lenovo has put into this is the ability to actually cover the camera. You don't have to have that ugly sticker on the camera like some people put on their laptops. You can just close the shutter. Anytime you're ready to use it, you can open it. It feels very firm and feels like a good quality item. And on the side here, it has a standard microphone switch, which you can turn on and off, and volume buttons with additional holes for the microphone on the side here. One, or actually two at the top, and that's it. So in total, it has 4 microphones built into it, while the smaller device has 2, and the Google device has 2 as well. Look what inside the box first. So inside the box, you have the manual. It's kind of out of place lying down in here. Inside here, it's a safety, warranty, and quick start guide. All the useless stuff that you most likely will never open. The charger, identical to the charger that is being used on the smaller Lenovo clock. I'll take out shortly. And further down the box, I think there's nothing else in there. It's a big box, but closer, you can fit another small Lenovo clock, and it's just empty. So I would say packaging wise, it's not as great. Plus this cardboard box in here really is out of place. It doesn't give this premium touch to the device like what Google Nest does.
Hi, I'm your Google Assistant. To get started, download the Google Home app on a phone or tablet.
Another box here, the large Lenovo Smart Display Assistant, and the most expensive one. This guy over here is a direct competition to the Google Nest Hub Max, which is like weird name, hard to pronounce. Okay, let's have it open. I'm actually most excited about this item to open. While the other two are there, I already know what they are and how they're going to perform just by guessing it. While the larger item, it being in a price segment of the Google Nest Hub Max, I'm very curious on what it actually feels like and how well it plays the sound, because the sound is the most important feature of these devices. Okay, what we have here is the Lenovo Smart Display, and this is the largest display that Lenovo does. On the side it has identical sticker, but in the same color pattern as the box. It's made in this like nice bamboo feel to it. Paper is actually very cheap. So open it up, and just like the other one, it's packed in the same manner. The device at the top, we take it out. So inside, identical charger as the other two devices. We'll use it shortly. It's the same smart guide book with the warranty information and how to use the device. And same as before, there's nothing else inside the box, just cheap cardboard, and there's foam filler and nothing else. So we no longer need the box. The device itself, wrapped in the same manner as the second one. Usually in most of these devices, I would say wrapping and the box are the most important. That's how it compares next to the previous devices from Lenovo. And this is a Google Home Nest Hub. On the device, you can see that they're done in identical style. The only difference is the size. It has the identical switch for the, which is kind of half open here from the factory. I wonder why. It has the identical switch for the camera, same as this guy has. It's the same. It has two microphones at the top. Then from the front, it has identical grille. Even the brackets on the screen are the same size as the other ones. The bag that differentiates these two items. This one over here has a feel of a bamboo chopping board, I would say, but actually it's not bamboo, it's printed plastic. And when I'm rubbing my finger on it, it feels like that it takes off like a top layer of skin, so it can easily work as a sandpaper. While I'm powering it up here, let's look at the chargers or the power supply blocks. So you can see they're not done with much thought into them, because what would be ideal is if Lenovo would have done them plugged in this way, because then it would not take the space. However, this is done so for the standard two-piece socket on the wall. So if you have double socket, then you can actually plug two of these chargers next to each other. Maybe for the future, Lenovo could actually do them interchangeable, so maybe a user can just switch the direction of the plug and decide how it's supposed to be plugged in. What's cool about Google Home is that as soon as you open the application, you see that it already found the 3 additional devices. And as you can see, these are devices. The only difference between all of them here is that the smart clock for some reason appears in the same way as Google Home Mini. It appears as a speaker, it doesn't appear as a display. All right, let's set it up. Have to connect it to the network. Now it connects, and in a few seconds it should be all set to go. It starts the update process while offers you go through with some of the Google terms and conditions signups. Okay, I've finished setting up the smaller device, and now I'm going to set up 2 others. The setup process is identical as the one I've just shown before, so I'll just skip it and we'll see you in a second. Now, you might encounter this kind of error. So once you get to the step where you have to read about the privacy and stuff and etc., when you click next, it might give you this error. There was an error when linking your account, please try again. Don't panic here, just ignore it. Just leave it as is and exit from the setup. That's it. By this time, your device should have been linked to the account already, and whatever happens there and why it appears there, it shouldn't really affect how your device is set up. Just like that, I have managed to set up these 3 devices without any issues at all, and they're all fully functional now.
Reminders and important information, and learn more about what your Google Assistant can do for you. Say, "Hey Google," to get started.
Your device
You can
isn't
ask
set up
questions,
yet.
play
To
your
get
favorite
started,
music and
download the
videos,
Google Home app
get
on a
step-by-step
phone or
voice guidance
tablet.
for thousands of recipes, control smart home devices, and more. You can also ask your assistant to complete...
Finally, I'm set with the devices here. Now let's look at the functionality of it. So the large devices, obviously, they're identical. I'm pretty sure they're very identical to the Home Hub by Google. So you slide up, it brings up the menu for the settings. Slide right to left, it brings you the top stories, the news, and all the stuff that you recently played. Same goes here, and same goes here. Then top to bottom, it gives you the access to the settings. Even shows you the temperature on your thermostat being set to 73 degrees. And that's about it. So if you want to turn it off, you slide it left to right and it goes to the black screen. Even here you actually see that Google Home Hub gives that awesome picture of clean numbers, while Lenovo dims it to where it's hard to see. And look what I found. There's an infrared sensor on the 8-inch and the 10-inch version here, right by the camera. Here this flashing red light. It's not visible to a naked eye, or I would say not that visible, but it's there. During the setup, we've seen that this small device is appearing on the Google Home as a speaker, unlike the other ones that appear as a display. And there is a reason. So this display, even though it's here, it actually doesn't work the same as the larger devices do. Because even when you're streaming music from YouTube to it, it doesn't show the actual video, it shows only the sound and in best case the artwork of the album you're listening to. So that's the primary difference between this device and the larger screens, and that's why this is a primary competition for Google Nest Hub Mini, or whatever it's called now, basically the old donut Google Home Hub. One last cool feature of the Lenovo Smart Clock is a USB port at the back, missing from every other Lenovo device or the Nest Hub. So what it's used for is to charge your cell phone. In case if you had only plug and you had to plug in this clock by your bed, that's what you use to charge your phone. Now let's listen to how they sound like. Just for the sake of comparing, I actually got you one of the Google Donuts here. Let's see how it compares to the Lenovo's Smart Clock. So for the start, I will be playing music one device after another, and we'll compare the loudness, the quality of the music, and how it all performs. This is how it sounds on the phone. I specifically found copyright-free music that allows us to play the music without being banned by YouTube. Okay, now let's share it to the Google device. So you can hear the sound is pretty clear and it's pretty loud, but let's see how 8-inch Lenovo is actually doing it. This is a medium setting. You feel that? I can barely hear myself. And the sound is a lot clearer, as well as it's a lot more dynamic and it has more bass to it. This also could be due to the larger speaker and that it's facing the person rather than being played at the back of the screen. Plus, I haven't done any additional volume settings and sound settings on this device. I'm pretty sure you can actually make it better. Now next, we are going to a 10-inch device. That's max. How about hip hop and R&B? Right, let's try on the 8-inch screen. You feel the bass, right? So now with the higher bass, Lenovo speaker actually fails a little. It's definitely easier to hear the lower frequency sound on the larger Lenovo 10-inch screen. But now, let's actually see what this little guy can do over here. Just before I play it though, the only downside of these two devices, you cannot stream the sound from YouTube directly to them. So you have to have a Google Music account. For the purpose of this exercise, I found a royalty-free music that should allow us to test the sound of the devices. First, we're going to listen to the Lenovo Smart Clock and hear its might and power here. Okay, slowly increasing it. Out of all of them, this is the loudest device. That's how loud it gets. Now let's try to switch it to a different speaker, to the Google Home Hub. Actually loud. So definitely on a medium volume setting, it actually plays better because you can hear bass. At the max level, it's a bit more dispersed, but you still can hear it. But boy, I have to say, I'm taking my words back. The Google Home Mini plays better than the Lenovo. Let's listen to it again, just in case. And this is a medium setting now. You cannot hear the bass here at all. But I think it has more bass when it plays louder. Huh? So here's the difference. The Lenovo clock plays better on the higher volume setting, while the Google Mini, I'm already confused about the names for the Googles, Google Nest Mini version 1 plays better on the medium volume settings, and it has more bass to it and depth of the sound. I think I should test it the same way one more time between the Google Home Hub versus a larger 10-inch screen on a medium volume setting. Let's have a look. Again, this is a medium setting. Maximum. Now going back to the 10-inch. It's playing at maximum. I would say it also has a better sound at the higher volume level compared to the Home Hub, while Home Hub is playing better at the medium volume setting. Alright, so the sound verdict. I definitely think that Google has a better sound, it has a better quality of it, the depth, separate notes play better at the medium volume level. Lenovo speakers are pretty loud. They're louder than the Google ones, but they're not as great on the medium settings, but they hold it pretty well at the max volume levels. The same thing I can say about the Google Home Mini and the Lenovo Smart Clock. It's definitely a decent device, especially for the price of it during the Black Friday sale and the upcoming Boxing Day. But then don't get me wrong, this guy over here is slightly outdated. Google has a brand new version out in the market, and I'm yet to test it. At the same time, I think out of all these speakers, I would definitely say that Google Home Hub wins the competition for the sound. Also, Google Home Hub wins the competition for the quality of the screen. As you can see, Lenovo screens, they're glossy, they're bright, they're glossy, even though they have a automatic brightness setting, same as Google Home Hub. The difference between two is that they're too bright compared with the Google Home Hub, where every picture presents itself as if it was a printed picture. And in the darkness, it actually adapts to the brightness of the room and makes it feel like a real life picture. And that's what we are about to test on these devices. Lights off. Slowly every screen turns dark, and you still can see on the Lenovo screens, especially the large ones, that it's a screen and it's on, unlike the smart clock and the Home Hub by Google. You can only see the numbers, nothing else, because they use OLED. Okay, so now if I add dim source of light, slowly, as you can see, Google actually switched back to the picture mode, but it's very dim and it gives a presence of a printed picture in a place, while the rest of them, they don't do that. Now if I uncover the light source, put the torchlight behind myself, Google is still there, but there is no light on the Lenovo devices. Okay, lights on. Immediately they pop back. Bright screen on all three devices, while the Lenovo still maintains bright, though picture-like, printed picture-like quality of the image here. So definitely screen-wise, Google definitely beats Lenovo here. So final verdict for all of the devices. Primary difference is the quality of build and the usability by the end user. If this device is being installed somewhere in a living room where it will not bother you at night, the Lenovo devices suffice for the purpose. Yet, Google Home Hub can be installed in your bedroom, can be installed in the living room, and everywhere you go, it would display that crisp, picture-like quality and will never disappoint you with the image being too bright at night. On the smaller scale here, the smart clock versus Google Home Hub Mini definitely has the advantage of the screen because it actually shows you the information instead of speaking it. I personally say that sound quality wise, Google Home Hub is better. However, if sound quality and music quality is not mandatory for you, then I recommend to choose Lenovo Smart Clock. From the range of the larger screens, I would definitely recommend to go with the Google Home Hub, as well as 10-inch screen by the Lenovo. Quality and price range, it's identical or almost identical to the 8-inch screen, yet it comes with a better punch on the sound and a larger screen if you're watching videos of it. And one last bit, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share the video, like it, and leave a comment for a chance to win this awesome Lenovo Smart Clock. I'll ship it worldwide as soon as we reach at least 100 subscribers. For those of you who want to know more about the Home Hub, I have a separate video available down here. I hope I gave you enough information about Lenovo devices and it will give you enough to make your decision to buy it or not.